You say you want my love, come make I give you small.
Hi and welcome back to Wedex TV. This is Tara from Wedex Bridals. It's the end of the month, guys, and I hope you managed to finish reading the last book of the Wedex BookClub, which was The Singleton by Christina Fasoro. I thought the book was great, as in I really rate people that can put their lives out on the line and just allow themselves to be vulnerable, allow themselves to be out there and share their story in order to encourage others. And I believe she will encourage many others that have been through a similar situation as she has. I just remember going through it and opening when because she talks about her life story, how she basically got molested and how she got raped. And I just opened it and I was thinking, oh my gosh, like I was not expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting that. I was just thinking I'd open it, it'll be the do's and don'ts and, you know, on your single journey and just go for it, girls, kind of thing. But she kept it real all the way through. It was like more like a conversation. And I just have to rate her, you know, this is UK talent. And yeah, she's from the UK and she's young and she's wrote a book, and I think that's amazing. So even if just for that, like, support her and pick up one of these books. I am definitely going to leave the link below if you haven't managed to read it. If you have managed to read it, please share your thoughts as well. It's like, yeah, I just thought it was, yeah, great, to be honest. And as I like to do, round up the book and just share the nuggets that I pulled out from the book, which I definitely thought there was quite a few in there. Nugget number one I thought was really good. Like, she talks about, like, what's your motive, basically, like what's your motive for being like so worried about being single and that kind of thing. And I think that's such an important thing for us to actually look at. And those are she gave 10 different things that she felt like are reasons why a lot of us are looking at wanting to get married and are not quite content in our single walk. And I do think once some things that you can identify and really like begin to be like, you know what, it ain't that deep, it's quite good to just get rid of it. So some of the stuff she was just saying, she was talking about loneliness, and I think that's probably a really big one, where we think, you know, having someone with us is going to sort out that area of feeling lonely. And she goes into more details about really how that isn't so true, you know, and that there's other stuff that you need to deal with in order to kind of overcome being lonely. She talks about feeling purposeless, you know, especially she's Nigerian, she can relate, and in our community it kind of tends to be, okay, I finished uni, I've done this, I've done that, next thing is to get married, you know. And it's just like on a list, a tick box of a list, and you think like, I haven't ticked that one, so you're not feeling so purposeful, like you just feel a bit about it. And I thought that is so true. Another one that I like that she mentioned was you're getting old, which is true, you know. As I said in my story, if you listen to my intro for the book, you do get to an age where you're like, oh great, like what's happening, like what is going on, like really, like I am getting old kind of thing. And she talks about others, you know, you kind of feel like because everyone else around you or a lot of other people have someone, like you too deserve to be with someone as well. And I just thought those were really like good points to actually think about, like really truly, like what is your motive, like what is really going on inside you? What are you thinking about? Why are you in this place where you're not content with where you are? Like why? What is your motive? So yeah, I thought that was just a really good nugget to pull out. And then the second one that I really liked also was, it comes up constantly in all the books that we have read, deal with yourself. Like you need to deal with self. Like there's just no running away from that. Like if you have issues, you like need to deal with it. Like you need to deal with it. If you need to go to people to get help, you need to talk to people, you know, you actually have to check yourself and deal with yourself, because yeah, you can't just keep fronting. You can't pretend that you're okay and it's everyone else, you know. And not even that, but there's issues that we have. There's loads of things that we go through. Life has shaped us up until the age we are, and there's a lot of junk in that we need to get rid of. There's a lot of baggage that we carry that we need to just get rid of to go on the next journey of life, you know, like with someone else. And I think it's just such an important thing to really think about. And she just goes through several different things. Yeah, she goes through several different things. So just as usual, just looking through my notes. The biggest one she talks about is taking yourself to God. She mentions it in all different ways, but summarizing it, it's like take yourself to God. Like, and it is God that will take you on a journey and just take you through different things about yourself. It's like a mirror. Like I felt like that. Like it was like a mirror that I would look at and be like, oh gosh, like, oh wow, I'm actually like this, I'm like that. This is not great. Some thoughts that I thought were okay, like I started to begin to see they weren't so okay. And things like that, you just begin to see things differently. And I know that speaks to the Christian people out there, it speaks to the Christian ladies. But for me, that's where I've come from. That's been my journey as well. So that's really the only place I can speak about it from. Because sometimes you need to have something that's bigger than yourself that will teach you. Something that's bigger than you. Something that has more knowledge, more wisdom than you do, to understand what you're about to get into, to let you see you for you, you know. And that's why it's important to learn from others. That's why it's important to be around people that can sharpen you up. It's really important. So yeah, so let's think about that. She talks about ending toxic relationships, and I think that is really a big one, especially at the beginning when you're really trying to make this decision. And for some people it's even through the journey where they're with people maybe for a temporary period just because they fill the gap, or it's okay for now kind of thing, and you actually need to get to a place where you're ending those relationships. Like you're just putting an end to it because you're now seeing your future, you're now seeing where you're going, you're now seeing what you want to do, and you can see that being here in this relationship or being with this person at this time or doing whatever with that person is probably not beneficial for your future. So I always think, yeah, have your future in mind. She also talks about forgiveness, which again I think is a big one. Especially if you know, maybe someone's cheated on you, or you, like she had someone that molested people that raped her, and you're just like, yeah, you're gonna carry that, and you feel like you have a right to be angry, and you do, like you honestly do, but it holds you more than it holds that person. That person's getting on with life and they're cool and they're doing their thing, you know. And you have to get to a place where you can forgive and move on, because it will hold you back otherwise. So she talks about that as well. She also talks about stop waiting and start living. I think that's a big one. Like that's probably my that was my biggest learning curve before I got married. Like just stop waiting, like start living, like enjoy life, like enjoy yourself, like just enjoy things. There's so many things that you will do that you probably won't do when you get married. Like honestly, there's just things you do when you're single that you're less likely to do when you're attached to someone, you know. And you just need to embrace those moments. Like you need to embrace those moments. So stop waiting and start living, guys. If you're there and you know, fasting and praying 24 hours 7 days a week for this husband to arrive, that's great, but you need to live a bit. You need to live. I realize, like, there is so much going on in this world, there's so many things going on, and you just need to enjoy them as well. Like, don't get content, don't think that's the be all and end all, because there's still another journey in marriage. Like, that is another journey in itself. It's not a end point. It's not an there you go, stop, we stop here. No, there's still a journey to continue walking on in marriage. So yeah, like live life, like enjoy those times, enjoy and embrace that time of singleness, as it would be put. And she also talks about healing, and I think that links quite closely with forgiveness, and just like healing from your past, healing from issues. And I loved how she just went into it. She talks about healing from attention, healing from the fear of being healed. You know, so I'll just read one quote that she mentioned that I really loved about healing, which was on page 94. And she talks about, so this is her talking about healing from the fear of being healed. And she talks about, I found comfort in being a victim. I'm not trying to downplay the fact that at times I was one, but I definitely played on it. As I started off this section by saying, I saw what I wanted to see, heard what I wanted to hear, I remembered what I wanted to remember. So when it didn't suit me to be a victim, I wasn't one. And I just think things like that are like really, really important. Like she just brought out some stuff that I wouldn't, because like I've never been in that situation, I've never been there. And no, maybe I have been there in certain ways, but you haven't, yeah, there's just some things that just need to be dealt with, like just need to be dealt with. And so I loved how she went into that, talking about healing and just talking about it from different angles. Like, and some of us like victim helps us keep a situation, that situation helps us have attention, you know. It talks about healing from attention. Being the victim, it does a lot to you, like it does a lot to you, and you know, and in a way it's being manipulative if you know that you don't need to be in that place, and it can stop you from taking responsibility from what you are supposed to be doing and taking the right next steps. So sometimes you need to like get off your butt, go do something, and yeah, and things will work out. And things will work out. So I really, really, really enjoyed that bit of it, and I just thought that's really useful and really tight, and like, yeah, you should really read it if you haven't already. And I liked, she talked about the stereotype of singleness, and I actually just like that phrase, the stereotype of singleness. I just like the phrase. I just thought, oh, that's a good phrase, you know. And she just goes into more detail about that, what she thought it was, and that was again in the healing section, and just like having to overcome that, because there's a sense of fear that we might have, thinking this is what comes from being a single person or being as that single girl, you know, and we need to kind of overcome it and kind of know that life goes on, like things are still happening, the world is still revolving around, you know, and Christ is coming one day. So you just still need to carry on and get over it, like get over that stereotype, because it is a stereotype. Like even when you're getting older, you're not gonna have this, you're not gonna have that, like it's just not true a lot of the time. Like people will tell you you're old at a certain age, and you hear some people that are in their 50s and they're like, 50 is not even old when I think about it, but you know, 50s, 60s, and the way they talk about life, like they're talking about it like my age now, and you're just thinking, wow, is that how it is when you get to that age, like, and you've lived more and you've had more experiences. So it's like we shouldn't rob ourselves of what we need to learn in the season we are in. So I think that's really important and something for us to think about. As I said, I don't think I was like ever content, but again, I know how my mindset works. I'm very much like, if I don't like something, I have to be uncomfortable. Like I want to be uncomfortable. It's a very conscious decision that I will make because I know that I want it to change. So that could have played the big part in the reason why I was never content. But learning on my journey and getting prepared for where I'm about to go was helpful. Like it was really helpful on my journey of singleness. So I would definitely encourage you to pick up the book. It's definitely a book of encouragement. I wouldn't say it's a user manual for, and when you're going to finish reading this, you're going to feel like, yes, I'm strengthened and I'm going to do this, and I still feel like it's still a mind battle. It's still, you're still going to go through things and you're going to be like, man, like really, especially if years and years go by and you're thinking, really? I'm still single, like what's this all about? I can't say that this will be the solution, and your journey and where you're coming from as well, I think plays a massive part in how you heal. It plays a big part. But the things I mentioned about just like taking yourself to God, healing, forgiveness, those things I definitely feel are all like, they, no matter where you are in your journey, you're probably going to be faced with those things, those issues, because there's a lot of dealing with self that needs to be done. There's a lot of dealing with who you are, your character, before you join yourself to another person. Like, you want to give your best you, like not by words, but knowing from the inside out you are your best you that you can be to that point in time, because in marriage you will even become even more sharpened by God's grace. Once you have the right husband, you will be even more sharpened. So yeah, you want to be the best you. So that dealing with self is a must, is a must, is a must. And I have to say, definitely a book worth reading. Definitely got some nuggets and just a great viewpoint, which is one reason why I like reading books that are about people's lives, because it just, you see it from a different viewpoint, a viewpoint that you may never be able to live. Like, I wouldn't want anyone to live her life, and I'm sure she wouldn't want anyone to live her life, you know, but she, from where she's been and what she's been through, she's been able to share that with everyone. And I think definitely there's a lot to just take out of it and be encouraged by, food for thought and stuff to run with, you know, to just keep you on your journey, keep you positive, keep you strong, keep you strengthened, and keep you remembering that it ain't over till it's over. As in, it ain't over until you decide it's over. Like, and just don't decide it's over, because it won't be over until Christ come. It ain't over. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. But I really hope you've enjoyed the book if you managed to read it. So please do share your comments below if you haven't managed to read it. I hope the videos give you a bit more insight and you're thinking, you know what, I'm gonna pick this book up and I'm gonna go through it and see what's in there for me. I say definitely do that. It would be great for you to like, share this video with anyone else that you think will find this useful. Wedex TV is all about relationships, it's about weddings, it's about marriage. And we just want to give you that total wedding experience, as we like to call it. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next book of the Wedex
I don't need silver or gold. I go follow you go today. You don't say where I don't they pray for someone where